You're always concerned about when you pick these things up, how's it work, how it doesn't work. But I got to tell you, this has worked, and I'm a believer. So
Awesome, man.
pretty excited.
Yeah. And I guess
Yeah.
just maybe diving into that a little bit, like I'm sure you kind of looked at maybe other, shoulder options. Like what ultimately made you kind of want to go with us for being your virtual shoulder specialist?
Well, I think it was desperation at the end of the day, right? And I just said I got to try it, right? And but well, I think some of the videos when I saw kind of a few of the things that you were talking about, I was like, okay, that might be that might be the case, right? And so I figured, you know what, I'm going to give it a shot, and here we are, right? So I'm glad I went on a limb on this one. Okay, you know what? This is how long I would have been going to PT anyways, and it wasn't doing me any good. So it wasn't like it was cost prohibitive or it was over the top or it was like unusual. It was like, hey, this for this length of a program, it's actually pretty good. 6 months of PT and it didn't work, right? So there you had it.
Denver.
Yeah. So I already paid all that and it didn't work. It was frustrating as hell, right? And so there it is.
Oh yeah, man. Yeah,
So
man. And I guess what was kind of maybe something that was like a surprising benefit that, after kind of going through the program that you were like, "Oh, wow, I didn't even know I couldn't do this, but now this feels like something I can do."
um well, I think first of all, I even before the injury, I don't think I had as much mobility, right, on both sides. So I've been actually doing exercises on both sides, right? Because I figured why not just do one, boom, both. Because I think that helps everything. But I have much more mobility than I've had in a long time. Even, like I said, even before. So to me, that's the surprise. There that I and maybe that was part of it. I just when you're not mobile, and so I kind of translated it into other stuff. I'm doing a lot of other stretches, like yoga poses and stuff like that for other parts of the body, because I realized that that was one of the issues here, right? That I didn't even think about that before.
Gotcha. And I guess now that you've kind of like gone through and seen what we do here and you were kind of doing the 6 months of PT there, what was like maybe the biggest difference as to why this, helped your shoulder move in the right direction and maybe the other things didn't quite do the trick?
Well, I think one is I was doing this every day, right? And I think two is the variation. It was focusing on well, it was I think it was focusing on a lot. So I think the other stuff was trying to focus on strength. Um, but but the strength isn't going to come if you don't get the rest of it in line, right? So I think even from the first couple of weeks, I could feel already the ability to have more extension and more movement. And so then I think that kind of cascades right into line and do more and more and more. And again, doing it every day, I kept the shoulder loose, right? So even when it got tight, I knew like, hey, I can just both go over here and do these exercises, and I know it'll loosen up a little bit, right? So even during the day, like I said, the other day we're camping, and I felt the tendon tighten up on me, and I could feel it, and then I just started doing the kind of the scapular punches, right? And it was gone. I was like, okay, that worked, right? It just kind of rotated it out. So I think the exercises you give are very useful. They're very applicable, and for me, they had an immediate impact, right? So, whereas when I went to PT, it was always the same exercises, and I came out of there and it didn't feel any different than it did when I went in. Let's put it that way. Right? It was just like, how much longer do I have to do this same exercise because it's just not working for me, right? That's kind of where I was at.
Yeah, I hear you, man. And I guess just, we're always trying to figure out like obviously sometimes it's challenging to like put the whole experience like into words because obviously there's a lot of moving parts. But what would kind of be your thoughts and maybe what you would tell someone that's hesitant about doing like an online shoulder program? Like what's maybe something you would say to them?
If they were looking to do this,
Yeah.
um, I would say that, as far as the shoulder goes, you guys are locked in and you're able to assess kind of the different areas, right? And because of that, you can give exercises that will actually focus on specific areas. Like you said, while the pain's here, that doesn't mean it's there. That doesn't mean it comes from there. It's like understanding, I guess, the anatomy really well. All these things, kind of lock in together. So to me, I would say one is they really understand the shoulder. Two is they take the time to understand where your pain is coming from, right? Because we went through some assessments, blah, 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 right? Okay, let's look at this, and they could see it. And then you guys put a program together that really worked well and focused on those different areas. So to me, that's kind of a three-pronged approach, but yeah, and I like the videos too. You guys have videos so you can see how to do it right. Because otherwise you're like, I don't know if I can do it, but it was great to have everything there, check it off, go through it, and be able to get back and forth with some info. So yeah, to me, everything I think worked out pretty good.
Yeah, and, like, just doing it every day with the videos, you felt like it was pretty easy to follow or
Yeah.
maybe
Uh,
where you're there?
no, it was really easy. Yeah.
Okay.
I've been having challenges with those, put it that way. Yeah.